Okay, so this is just gonna be a short stream. I'm mostly going to be working on the base. We have a modular weapon part. This can actually be a object, to be honest. This can, yeah, just, you know what we are gonna do? We're gonna have a model and a interface, and that's gonna be it. It's gonna be how we do stuff. Let's do it. No, let's create a folder first. Models, and we're gonna create another folder called interface. Interface, we are going to have our interface. Modular weapon part interface. This is gonna be the weapon itself, okay? And for the model, we're gonna create a blueprint class, and this is gonna be of type object. We're gonna call this cuckoo modular weapon part. Okay, that's it. Modular weapon part, modular weapon part interface. Interface, modular weapon part. Okay, perfect. So we're just gonna have this function right here. Forget modular weapon part object. Perfect. This is gonna be an output. It's going to have our part object part. Okay. Perfect. Weapon part. It's gonna be weapon part. Voila. So we're gonna be creating a actor just for this showcase, and I woke up. Function. Create another blueprint called common function. Okay. Functions. Let's just categorize this into modular weapon. And I think I did the same. It should be weapon part. Perfect. Okay, so weapon, right? So we can have our first function that is going to be get attach weapon, attach child, okay, attach child. You don't even need any description, it's quite straightforward. We also have an output. We're gonna do it later. First we will need is our parent actor. Parent actor. Name. And then this is gonna be this is going to be an actor as well. Perfect. There we go. So we have the attach child function, and now we're gonna do some basic checks first. We'll do that. Oh my gosh, wait a minute. Also, I gotta fix my Git first. You are too woke. Yeah, hell yeah, baby. Give me 1 minute, better luck. I gotta check my GitHub repo. I'm going to get rid of some of my repositories, so yeah. I'm gonna do that first, and then I'll push this project in. Black Ops 6 looks good. I'm not gonna lie, the new Black Ops. But I can actually stream this. I don't even know why I go there. I'm gonna go to my repositories. How do I go to my repository? I have been coding every single day. You can see it right here. Ooh, that's a lot of code. Comments and comments and comments. 76 comments in June. That's good. It is good. Cuckoo Lang, Cuckoo Lexer. We don't need any of these anymore. We're gonna delete all of them. Mm. Okay. Gonna just I'm just cleaning up my repository so that it doesn't get messy. Okay, weight-based inventory. We can delete this. We don't want to work with C++ because they are a pain in the ass to work with. So delete this repository. And we are also going to delete C++ plus exposure. Basically getting rid of everything that has to do with that is not complete. What else do we get rid of? Procedural actor attachment. This is kinda nice to have. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna get rid of it because I can just redo the whole thing. The logic is stuck in my head. Procedural weapon. Plus, it's not technically correct. I should be calling it procedural weapon. It should be called modular weapon because there's nothing procedural about it. It's more about modularity. So calling it procedural weapon system is not accurate. Less. Kukolani private, I think. Spatial inventory system, right? This one is kinda important, I would say. So I think I'm gonna keep this one. Is this C++ though? If it is, oh, it's not, which is this is nice. Create inventory system. We can get rid of this. We already have the spatial one, so we don't need this. Okay. Cafe Rush, we don't need this either. Get rid of this. Okay, inventory system, Cloudlearn, Valheim NPC. This one was very nice, I'm not gonna lie. This is like a remade version of the project. Cook item. Craft item. Find containers with item and move. Find item, drop and move. Fuel smelter. All item. Then move to. And then put item in smelter. And then we have repair piece. We have the cooked item. This is going to take the item that are cooked. They're pretty good. I'm getting sidetracked. Okay, so I'm gonna turn on some of my, what do you call that? Assist, crystal nodes, procedural recall. We don't need that. Yeah, we can restart. The other thing that I want to do is, what should I do? Yeah, I have to create a repository for my, well, for the project that I'm working in. So let's minimize this project. I want to go to a different folder, different map, because this map is a bit too much for my PC to handle. So I'm gonna go to C project. Okay, there's just Google Land, there's nothing else in here. Should be in documents then. It's a real project, Google Factory. Content, Google Modular System, yeah, this is the one that I'm looking for. Okay. Google Modular Weapon System, okay. I'm gonna create a okay. Not gate, this is probably the best one out there. Looks nice. What am I doing? I just have 3 GB of VRAM and I'm doing all of these things. My PC is gonna die. Yeah, it's good. I love the blur thing. This website's all sorry, this what do you call that? Okay, it's kind of bugged right now. And this one's also good except that except the background. But I don't have a good picture to change it with. Anyways, we're gonna pull the origin first. Which one should I go for? I guess we'll keep this one. Okay, I'm gonna add a local repository and select the one I just created. That's going to be this one. Also, I'm gonna push this Google Modular Weapon System, Modular Weapon System, Unreal Engine, created using VB. Brand new organization. I'll probably keep this private because I'm going to have assets that I did not. This binary was unchanged, right? Okay. Okay, this is gonna be the first push, so I don't really need to do anything yet. Okay. So we have our functions. Okay. So first, we want to do some checks. So first is gonna be checks, and the second one is going to be attaching. Okay. This is what we're gonna do. So the first thing is we're gonna do some checking. We're gonna do some parent check, and actor check, and then the second one is gonna be the child actor check. Okay, so get parent. Okay, and then we want to check if it implements the interface. Implements interface, and the interface we're looking for is Google. This interface right here. If it doesn't implement it, we don't have to worry about it. False, and we are gonna print something, I don't know. Let's say doesn't implement implement implement. What interface was it? Google Modular Weapon System. Get display name, and we want to get the display name of Google Modular Weapon Interface. Is it implement? We have a space, right? Interface. We don't actually need this. We can get rid of these. Okay. Yeah, and then we are gonna return false. Okay. Success is going to be false if the parent doesn't implement the Google Modular Weapon. So if it's valid, it's valid. That's going to be the first check. The second check that we want to do is we want to know if the slot is valid. So to do that, what we can do is get parent, and then we can do a what do you call that? get modular weapon part, and we can then promote this to parent weapon part. Let's call this parent. Okay, let's call this parent weapon, and let's also just put it here. It makes much more sense to be here. Okay. The weapon models, no, I did not make the weapon models. I'm just gonna make the system, the asset that's gonna allow you to have modular weapon parts attached together and function as one single unit. That's what I'm gonna be doing. Anything that's related to art or animation or model, that's not gonna be me. You can be rest assured that it wasn't made by me. Okay, so this is our object. So what we want in here is we want to have a list of slots that we can have, right? So let's create a function. Let's call this get children slots. Okay, so this is gonna get all of the let's call it get possible. So slots, it's gonna return us every single children slot that we can attach in this parent. Okay, sounds good. Oh, the compiler, yeah, I did make the compiler. Okay, so we have children, and the output is gonna be a name, the slot name. It's gonna be a type slot. Okay, and except we want a map of name as well as the list of actors. So I think what we want to do is we want to create a struct to represent the asset. So let's create a new folder called struct, cd struct, and let's create slot weapon data or something like that. I don't know yet. It's going to have a list of slots, slot data. Yeah, let's call it slot data. It makes much more sense. Okay. Let's create a struct cuckoo modular weapon struct slot data. Yeah, slot data. So in slot data, what we can have is if it's optional or not. Is optional. Is optional. Okay. And the second variable that we can have is all of the actors that we can attach here. So what should I give? What should I call this? We can call this base weapon modular weapon part base. Okay, so it's gonna be weapon part base. Okay. Gonna be accepted weapon parts. This is gonna be an array, so okay, this is also gonna be a class. So this is going to be every single actor, that has this weapon part, they can be attached to this specific slot. Okay, makes sense. Okay. Is optional except the weapon part. Okay, I think this one is kind of done. So this can be weapon struct. Okay, so if we were to return it, we can make a map, we can make a struct with optional, and we can make a list of all the actors that can be attached in this slot. Okay, this one is valid. Now we have to create another function called get possible parent slot. It's going to be all the slots that can be attached to the parent. So for this case, we're going to have a bunch of slots for the parent, as well as I think it's the same. It's going to be the same. Yeah, it's basically going to be the same as child one, except that the slot name, with possible parent slots. The key has to be the slot name in parent. Slot in parent where this actor can be attached. Okay, that is it. That is what's important. And I think we're done with these. Now let's put them in category. Modular weapon. Yeah. The weapon should be capital. Perfect. Okay. So we have our parent weapon. We have that. Now the first check is going to be check if parent has implemented the interface. Okay, so this is the first check. Okay, and the second check is going to be what do you call that? If the parent has that slot. Okay, yeah, so on the slot, right? Actually, fuck, I just realized we cannot do this. We need another struct. Modular weapon slot weapon data. This is gonna have a modular weapon part base plus the weapons, and then the second thing that we are gonna have, yeah, this is the weapon, and we are then going to have the slot that this weapon is going to be attached to. Okay, so this is going to be a name, socket name. Okay, and the reason we're doing it on different, based on different. Okay, let me think about this. We have slots. We have a bunch of weapons that can go in that slot, and every single of them can have different attachment points. So yes, this is what we should be doing. Okay, yeah, this is good. We just gotta change this and change this from cuckoo modular to cuckoo modular struct. It's gonna be weapon slot. No, this shouldn't be slot data. What did I name this? Modular weapon slot weapon data. Slot weapon data. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Compile this, and if we make this again, it's optional, it's gonna be there, and then we can also make an array, and every single array can have this unique objects now. Okay, open part, and we can specify the slot that they're gonna be attached to. Okay, looks good. Weapon parent, then we can have the checks now. Yeah, we can do a second check. Okay. So the second check is gonna be, we need the parent now, and we have to now start modifying our models. This is blah, this is blah. Okay, that's good. So we can do possible children slots. So now we're gonna get all of the slots in that can be attached as a child in the parent weapon. So we're gonna do contains find. Sorry, it's best to do find. And then we are also going to do an if statement, which means that if you found it or not. And the slot that we're going to be finding is slot in parent, right? So if it false, then we're going to print string, and we're going to do the parent again, and do an append. Okay. Doesn't have slot. Child slot. Okay, perfect. And then we are going to return false. Okay, looks good to me. Okay, but if it's valid, what we want to do is we want to break. No, we want to store it. Did we want to call this parent slot children? Otherwise, it's called possible slot children, and we're gonna be putting it here. Okay, perfect. We can actually turn that into a freaking map. I just realized we can turn this into a map. The dumbass. Instead of making it this one, we can turn this into a map, and this can be the name. Dude, we can just. This can be a class, a weapon part, and socket. Okay. Then this is gonna, for the children, we're gonna return map of slot name versus what do you call that? Weapon parts that can be attached in this slot with their socket names. Okay, sounds reasonable. Yeah, it does look cool. Blueprints are nice to look at. You will understand one day if you stop being a loser with zero commitment. This one is gonna be return. What should we return? Return slot name and parent along with slots along with the parent. Return slots versus the parent where this actor can be attached along with what do you call that? Along with parent actor class. And can be ignored. What can be ignored? Socket name can be ignored. Oh damn, Valorant. I wanna play Siege, man. Wait, inform me when the new season starts, okay? Of Siege. I wanna check out the new charm, and then the what do you call that? The background and the mask that I got. Okay, we have this, we have that. Okay, yeah, looks good to me. So this one is gonna be check if parent has the slot. Perfecto, 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 perfecto. What? No idea. Fuck you. You should have an idea, man. You love Siege so much. You should have an idea. You were the one dick riding Siege every single day. Ah, what's wrong with you, man? Okay, so it does have an object. Now we want to do a third check. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna do a break. So this is the slot weapon part, right? Find. Okay, and what do we want to find? But before we do that, we want to do this. Okay, the class that we want to look for. That low interest rate with your fine. To save it. Oh yeah, brother, that's how one should be. Full on commitment with no regards of the future. That's how I like it. Who texted me now? Oh. Just to be safe. Timing of, I don't know the timing of a CRT class. Okay. Anyways, what the fuck was it supposed to do? We have a slot, children. Now we want to get our. Okay, yeah. So we don't have access to get child, and we want to do is does implement interface. Okay, you know what? We gotta change some orders. Cool. Okay. If interface, if it implements interface. Key. Ah, Could you practice a go? On second period, Shuchishmita has a class on second period, so it's not gonna be on second. It's gonna be on fourth or first. I'm not sure yet. Okay, anyways, so we have our modular weapon set up right here. So if it doesn't, then we can print the same thing as we did here, and we can just paste it. Okay, and then instead of doing a parent, we can do a child and just say that, okay, perfect. But if it does implement the interface, then we want to get a get cuckoo modular weapon part object, and we want to put this in, and the weapon part, it's going to be a child weapon part, child weapon. We want to put this above. Okay, so we have that sorted out. Check if parent has a slot, and then what are we doing? Child weapon, get class. Yes. So if it doesn't, we're gonna print something, and then we're gonna return false. Fuck. Return false. Paradox, paradox, paradox. How about you suck my cock? Paradox, say paradox. Bal kay ko bal. Bal kay bini paradox. Iya, mamma mia. Mamma mia, mamma mia. Okay. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to append some text, and we want to just go get child. Okay, so what are we gonna do about this? What we want to do is if, okay, so we can do a parent weapon get parent. Now we gotta do a get parent. I'm gonna show you a how I can code in Blueprint without using my, what do you call that, my mouse at all. So get parent slot doesn't parents have slot, but the slot doesn't have weapon part actor, and then this we can do, fuck, I used my keyboard, sorry, mouse. It's gonna be get child. We're gonna get these, and then we are gonna link this up to C1. There we go. Looks good to me. And then what we can do is, for the true, we can just save the socket name. This is gonna be a socket name, and we are gonna be attaching this with the okay. So what comment are we gonna check if the slot has the required the child weapon part class. Perfect. Why, man? Why would you say no? Yeah, the delay is quite high. I think it's about 30 seconds. Anyways, so these checks are done. We can now move on to the check for children. You see this code? Fucking hell, baby. This is what I was talking about. Like, it can get super, not even messy, but quite big. If this was, you know, a normal text coding, this would have been a lot shorter. But because of the way Unreal Engine is made, it's such a pain in the ass to work with C++. So now we gotta make do some checks on a child. Get parent, possible parent slots. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a find, and what we're gonna find is the slot. Get slot. If you wanna check if the slot exists in the parent, yeah, slot name and parent. So we want to do an if. Okay, where the fuck did my object go? It's here. So it does have it. This child have the exact parent. Does child have this slot in any parent? Bad engine, yes. Bad for C++ developers, bad for people with no SSD. But even if you have an SSD, right, it's still a pain in the ass to work with. It doesn't even follow the C++ standards. So even if you know C++, you still have to learn this one, a different type of C++ for Unreal Engine. It's like a bit different to work with. Just learning the traditional C++ is not going to be enough. You have to learn the way how Unreal Engine interacts with C++. It's quite different, I would say. So we're gonna break this, and we're gonna check is contains, and we want to get the parent open part. Okay, then we want to print something, and we want to return false. Okay, same goes for here. We want to print something, and we want to return false. As much as I love Unreal Engine, I'm not a fan of its programming language. I mean, C++ is very fun to work with, but the way they the way they make us work with C++, it's not intuitive. It's quite the opposite. Get parent. Let's do get parent. Let's do and. Okay. So so now what is happening? So the first check we do is, does parent have? Okay. So what we can do is get child weapon. No, it's not child weapon. Get child, and we can do a1. Then we can do doesn't have slot in parent, and the name of the slot is going to be get slot name in parent, and we're going to put it here. But if that's not the case, child has slot, but slot doesn't have parent. And we're going to put in the slot name again, and then we are also going to put in the name of the, what do you call that, the parent itself. Okay. Okay, so it's looking good, quite big, I would say, and it's looking pretty mighty fine. This is gonna be check if the parent slot in child has this parent weapon. Okay. Design me a payment gateway for Netflix. It has member and plans, which are two basic premium, and you can premium. You have to what is that? Create bill. For something like this, people would not be creating the payment gateway from scratch. They would probably be making use of a third-party payment gateway such as Razer. Then there's Stripe, but those two are the most popular one. Razer is used globally. We also make use of Razers in multiple websites, if you have noticed, especially on those third-party hosted websites, such as actually, like the websites you find from Instagram. Those kind of websites, they make use of third-party gateway, because making a payment gateway system from scratch is very risky, because you are dealing with transactions. So security is the biggest concern, and it is not possible for someone like us with very little experience about in security to be able to develop something that's going to be production ready when it comes to payment gateway. So I think I'm gonna name this, and I'm gonna call this checks and validations. Okay, you see how nicely this thing is placed? I just fucking love it. You see this, right? This is why I love blueprints. You can have this commented sections and everything, and it looks mighty fine. So what we can do is we can also break it into a node, group node, so they can so these are grouped. What the fuck? Where did this feature come from? What? I never realized that we have this feature. The fuck. I think this comes from the latest update of Blueprint Assist. So we can collapse this into a node. Okay, never mind. What I wanted to do was I wanted to select all of them, and I wanted to collapse to node. Okay, you know, no. I want to select all of them. Collapse node, and the fuck. Okay, the return thing is kind of fucking me up, so I'm not gonna do that. What I'm gonna do is this is gonna be check if parent does parent implement PLAM implement required interface. This is what this question is about, and let's change the color to something like this. Okay, looking good, perfect. The second check we want to do is this one. Can we group this as well? Alt G, Alt, lock node. What is lock node? Not sure what lock node means. Does it mean that we can't delete it? Ah, I don't know what this does, but no. Okay. Okay, I see. So it's more like moving everything together. How do I ungroup it? How do I ungroup it? Group and then ungroup. Control Alt G, I see. So we have to press Control Alt and G. Alt G to group it. Come on, is that not it? Okay, Control Alt to group it. Control Alt G to ungroup it. Okay. So anyways, I want to comment this. Does child. Fuck. What can I type? What the fuck, man? Does child implement required interface? Okay. SDE intern role. Yeah, software development engineering intern role. I mean, questions like these are super good. I would much rather have questions like these than, you know, those things. What do you call that? Lead code questions. Because I do have experience with this kind of things, because that's what I like to work with, you know, those large scale projects. So this kind of questions are what I find interesting as well. Lead code, I'm not really a fan of lead code. I just do it because we have to pass the interview test. Okay. Perfect, looking good, I would say. Now we have a bunch of checks done, so we don't have to worry about this now. For the attaching part, we have to do some. Oh, we forgot to add one fucking check. Oh my gosh, bro. Oh my gosh, bro. The check is gonna be if the slot is already occupied. Fuck. So we need two more. It's gonna go here. It's gonna go here, here, and here. Oh no, this might go here. What check was the second one? Okay, it's gonna be there. It's cool. The third check was this parent have the required slot. Thus, this slot in parent have the attaching child. Okay, here's what we need. Which one is this? This is this, right? 4-1. Okay, we need this can go up here. We need some another function right here. So it's gonna be an if, and let's say, yeah, almost DSA around, kinda, yeah. But I see why they want to do that, because they want you to be efficient with your solutions when you're working with big projects. Yeah, so it makes sense. It's just that it's pain in the ass. You need a lot of, to be honest, it's the same for both of them. For system designs as well as lead code stuff, both requires you to have experience, because the reason one might be good at system design is if they keep on working on projects that require them to design different systems, just like that. If somebody is interested in solving different problems, then they would also be doing lead code and coming up with solutions. So yeah, both of them kind of requires you to have experience. It's just that personally I find system designs to be much more interesting. So since you can work on projects, and when you complete the project you have the sense of accomplishment in it, and it makes you feel good. I don't get that from completing a lead code question. So that's the reason why I delve deep into large scale projects. And I think that in the long run, it's much better, not just better, it's much beneficial to have experience with system designs, because when you are gonna be applying for a senior post, right, they're not gonna be asking you, okay, they are gonna ask you lead code questions again, but the ultimate deciding factor is going to be the system design questions. Like they're going to tell you how you would design your, what do you call that, how you would design your WhatsApp, a streaming service, stuff like that. Okay, an hour ago. Okay, so first check we want to do is get children. We don't need this. What we want is we want our models, and we want attached. It's gonna be attached children. Okay, yeah. Well, this is gonna be a map of name, attached children, and its factor. With a modular weapon, attached children. Then we can also have another one that's going to be our parent. Parent. We can also have another one called attached. Attached parent slot. It's going to be of type name. The slot in parent, its actor is attached to. Okay, perfect. So what do we do next? Next up we have this, so we can just do a get attached children, and then we can do a contains. We're gonna check slot name. If it is attached, yeah, bruh, but just come and go. But namaste. So what we can do is, if it contains this, and then we can do a print, and then we can do an append return. Sorry, simple return. Return can be over here, and this can be part of this. Okay. So what we can do is, we can do an append, and the context is going to be get parent. Doesn't really matter. We can do it on parent or the child. This is going to be already has a actor occupied in slot. Let's get the slot name. We got slot name. Attach this, and we can do this. And what we can do is get attached children, and we can do a find. We can do a get slot name in parent and attach this. Perfect. Okay. Does this look intimidating to you? Three. Okay, so we need another one. We want to check if a child has a parent already. Okay, so this is going to be here, and what we want to do is we want to do an if check, and in this if check, what we want to do is we want to get the child weapon, and we want to give parent is valid. If it is valid, it means that we are already attached. We already have a parent attached return. Okay, but before returning, we also want to print something, and we can append it. This is gonna be get parent. So get child space has a parent attached already. And we can do we can show the parent right here. Perfect. So this and this, sorry, and this and this. What the fuck? This can be part of this, and this can be part of the comment as well. So we can just do this. Why are you going down? You twat. Okay. Perfect. Now we can group this because it's not gonna change. Does a child already have a parent? This is the first one, and this is gonna be does parent already have a child attached in this slot? Perfect. So these are just some basic checks that we are doing right now. Okay. Hell yeah, baby. These are just checks. These are just a bunch of if-else statements. If you have learned that, then this should be familiar. If condition true, then do this. If condition false, then do this. It's nothing fancy. It just looks quite fascinating in Blueprint. Plus, I have some plugins on which converts them into this gradient looking thing. So when you hover over them, it looks quite nice. You have this glow effect, and I think it's pretty fine. So now the checks are done. Now we are gonna move to attaching them. So what we do is get parent and do an attach actor to actor. Now what we want to do is attach actor to actor, and we can add do this here, and it's gonna be the parent is gonna be here, and the child is gonna be get child. Perfect. So now we attached it. The socket we want to attach it to is going to be this socket. snap to target, snap to target. So it's gonna snap to that specific target, and what we can do next is we can then update the values. So the parent, right? The parent is going to have a get attached children, and we're gonna add a new record. The new record is gonna be get slot, and in the slot we're gonna get the child. Perfect. And then we also want to update the child. Get parent, sorry, set parent. This one is going to be get parent. Okay, and then after setting the parent, what we want to do is we want to get child weapon again, and we want to set slot parent, and let's attach this to 10 so it doesn't look goofy. Now this one is supposed to be get slot. Perfect. So we have attached it over there, and I think now we can finally return. So yes, and if this is successful, we are going to return attach and update variables. Okay. So yeah, this is kind of done. This function is kind of done. Now this is just the interesting part. Now we have to do the tedious and boring part, which is going to be creating data for every single records, and I just fucking hate doing that. Anyways, before you do that, have a look at this. This is what I was trying to achieve previously. Oh fuck me, fuck my computer. You see the stuttering? It's because of my 3 GB VRAM. It's there for every single day because of this. And plus I'm like streaming as well, so it's even worse. Usually it lasts for, I would say, 5 to 10 seconds, but right now it's just going on forever. Okay, now it's good. This is like how a weapon would animate when you shoot it. You can see that I don't know what this is called, but it's moving. And this is supposed to be a magazine. Anyways, yeah, so to get started, we can have an actor. Let's create a demo folder, or yeah, let's just create a demo folder. The demo folder, what we want to do is we want to have a let's have a base weapon. Demo, let's say actors. Base weapon part cuckoo modular weapon part actor modular weapon actor base. Okay, it's gonna be the base actor, and this is gonna be a static mesh. It's gonna be root, and then we can have our, what do you call that, skeletal mesh. Skeletal mesh, there you go. Fine, and what we want to do is we can also set it up in a different logic that, you know what we're going to do? We are going to define the static and skeletal mesh, or we can just keep it here, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so what you want to do is, let's yeah, we need to implement the interface that we created. That's going to be cuckoo modular weapon interface, right? This is our interface, and we want to create a promoter still variable. Let's put this under cuckoo modular weapon. So we have our modular weapon object as well, and this is what we were going to be working with. Okay, we have our let's create body, and then let's also create a, what should we create first? Let's create a stock body and a stock, or a scope maybe. Scope is quite simple to do, so let's do a scope like that. We want to have model, and then let's create our first model. That's gonna be a child of cuckoo weapon No, I think it's weapon part base. Yeah, part base. And let's call this body. Goku modular weapon part. A body. It's gonna have all the property: attached child, not attached child, and we have to override two functions now. We got possible children. Since this is the body, we want to do a make. Okay, you know what we're gonna do first? We'll check if the slot is occupied. Right. So firstly, we are going to make a variable called original map. Original. Okay, and then we want to set this to some values. Perfect. Let's make it. And the first slot, for now, we are gonna just work on scope. Okay, scope is all that we are going to have. And then scopes that we are gonna have is it's gonna be here, and scopes are optional, so we're gonna make it optional. And just for the sake, we're just going to have empty for now. We are gonna fill this up after we are done creating our scope. Okay, so this is one, and this is going to be attached in the scope socket. And as for the parent, it doesn't have any parent. It's gonna be empty. Possible parent is gonna be empty again. Perfect. So this is done, and we can close this just like that. We also gotta create another one for our hard scope, right? For the scope. So what are the children that a scope can have? Nothing. A scope cannot have any children, because can you attach anything on a scope? You can't, right? You can attach a scope to the body of a weapon, but that means that the scope is a child of the body, but there is nothing specific that you can attach to a scope. So we gotta get rid of these. Possible children is gonna be empty, and the parent, the possible parent, is going to be a, what do you call that? Let's create a local variable again and call this a map. And then what we can do is we can do a set again, just like the previous one, and set this value right here. We can also set it from the details panel if we want to. It's totally our wish. We can do what we want to. Okay, so it can have a parent. The parent is going to be of type body, and its optional is going to be false, because it's not optional. We need to have a body. A scope always needs a body to work. And then the slot that we're gonna have is going to be weapon part body, right? And it's going to be attached in the, what do you call that, scope slot. Okay. Body scope. Okay, looks good to me. Let's close this, and let's open our parent again. Now we can actually put in our scope. Perfect. So what is this? Modular weapon, right? So we have skeletal mesh, we have this, we have that. I think we are ready to test our code. To do that, we are going to create two actors. We're going to create a scope and a actor scope 01. We're going to go inside a scope, and we're going to create a child. It's going to be body 01, and it's going to go inside the body. For the body, I already have a mesh set up, so it shouldn't be that hard. But I did not. Okay, maybe I don't. Yeah, I deleted it. But yeah, we can just go to meshes, and then we have our hull 01. This is going to be our mesh. We also can create our little static mesh from this. Let's call this body. Okay, just temporarily. I'm gonna move all of this to a different folder in the future. So we have hull selected. We can go in here, and this is, what is this? This is the body, right? Yeah, I can have this right here. And then we have our mesh. We also can create our little static mesh from this. Let's call this body. Okay, just temporarily. I'm gonna move all of this to a different folder in the future. So we have hull selected. We can go in here, and this is what is this? This is the body, right? Yeah, I can have this right here. So this is going to be our body, and for this static mesh, you can set it to this body. The reason we have a static mesh and a skeletal mesh is because of the limitation of the engine. By default, not by default, I don't think it's even possible without modifying the inner code. You cannot have a skeletal mesh attached to another skeletal mesh, and you cannot expect the attached skeletal mesh to have collision when you simulate physics. So to fix that issue, I had to hack a little bit and have a skeletal mesh on top of it. So we have this, we have set up this static mesh, but after that we want to set the material to new material. So this kind of makes it invisible. Okay, so if I remove this, you can see that we have a static mesh, but it's invisible. And the reason is because, we made it invisible. Yeah. So we can go back and one. Yeah. The static mesh is invisible. The skeletal mesh is visible. Batima. What? Oh, Batima is it's a food. I think to make it you have to let it sit somewhere, I don't know where, for a while. And if you do it properly, if the quality of the batima is good, then it's not gonna itch your tongue. But if it's bad, your tongue is going to itch. If it's done well, then it tastes really good. I mean, it tastes good regardless, but if the quality isn't up to the mark, then it's going to make your tongue itch. The scope, let's go see. Scope 3, let's select scope 3, and let's go to scope 3, and let's create a static mesh for this as well. Let's call this scope, save it, and this one is also going to be a scope, and we can set the mesh to new material, making this totally invisible. And the only thing that's going to be visible is the skeletal mesh. So this is good. What we want to do next is we want to open this static mesh, and we want to make the sockets. So to do that, we open the static mesh and create a we don't really need to do anything. We just need to, we don't really need to do anything in here. The scope is fine. We just got to go to the parent and okay, this is the body, right? The body, we can create a, what do you call that, a collision. So we can do auto convex collision. This is going to use the mesh, geometry mesh, to create a collision profile, as you can see right here. This is done, and we want to add a socket. Let's call it scope. Okay, and let's attach it at the very top. My PC's dying, bro. I gotta turn this to unlit just so that I can have a little more control. What the fuck? Why can't I drag it up? That's too much. Come on, fucking hell, dude. And people still wonder why I need a freaking GPU. Any time that I have to work with graphics, it's just a pain in the ass. We'll just keep it here for now, for the sake of demonstration. The scope socket is going to be here. Okay, so I call it scope, and I'm just gonna give it a second look just to be safe, just to know that everything is working properly. So we have our models, the weapon part. In the weapon part, we have the body, right? The body has a children's socket. It's gonna be scope. We're attaching a scope. Okay, good. So looks good to me. And then we have our the same body and the body. This okay. Actor, and then we have both of these. Okay, looks good to me. What is up with the lag all of a sudden? Put this here. This is going to be the scope. And then I'm gonna open up and add the other body. So we can put it over here. Okay. I can't even fucking control my shit. See the fucking struggle I go through? Takes a lot of patience. Takes a lot of fucking patience. Anyways, we gotta open up our blueprint, level blueprint, and we are gonna change a lot of the code. I don't know what happened all of a sudden. I think there's a leak, a memory leak right now. Because normally it's not this bad. Can I turn on performance mode or something? Yeah, let's see if this fixes anything. Not really, but yeah. Okay, so we want to do get actor of class. What do you want to do is, we want to do, what was the actor name again? Body. Yeah. Promote this. Just call this parent, and just like that. You wanna okay, now we have our parent, we also have the scope. Now we want to do is fucker, will you work? The parent is going to be this one, and the child is going to be this one. Sorry, child is going to be this one, and the scope that we want to attach it is going to be called scope. Okay, and then we just do a attachment right here, and yeah, so we save this, close this, okay, run this. Modular does not have a child slot. Okay, it doesn't have a child slot. Scope doesn't have a child slot. I see we need to construct an object out of it. If that is the case, then I think we gotta do it in begin play. Fuck. Or we can make it a static construct or something like that. But that way we cannot have per thing. Weapon part, right? Weapon part. Not sure what happened to my Unreal Engine. It's so fucking slow. It's so slow, dude. Crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's call this weapon part class. Okay. You make me feel amazing when I'm next to you. Okay, this is gonna be costume weapon part. Can't we force this to be something? Oh, we can actually, we can make it a whoa, 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 whoa. See how much of a pain in the ass this thing is, right? You see how much of a pain in the ass this thing is. It can't even work. Fuck off. Fuck off, dude. Like, I'm not kidding when I say that you need a lot of patience. Fuck me. Okay, this is gonna be body. So this means that it's gonna inherit all of the property that we defined in the body class. Okay? Just like that, we are going to do the same for scope. And open this. Oh, we don't need to open this. We can do it here. And this is gonna be the scope. And save it. And hopefully we don't have to change anything because If we have to, we are fucked. Weapon actor body does not have a child slot scope. Oh, sorry, scope. Okay. Wow. It does it not have it? Should have it. Mm, body, right? Possible children. We do have scope. What are you saying? What are you saying, dude? Oh, we never passed it. Fuck me. Yeah, we never passed it. Yeah, we were supposed to. Regional. Yeah, we were supposed to do this. And we have to do the same for our other one. But does not have scope 1 doesn't have slot in parent. Okay, what does that mean? Scope 1 doesn't have slot in parent. I think it does though. This is the scope, right? Okay, so a scope can be attached. Okay. Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Should be able to do it now. Okay, now it's attached. You see that, right? It's getting attached. If I stop it, and then I try to replay this, you can see that the scope is going to get attached to this body. Come on, dude. Yeah, it's getting attached. Now the reason why I did the hacky static mesh and skeletal mesh thing, I'm gonna show you right now why we did that. But before that, I want to show you, let's just rotate this right like this, okay? And then what we're going to do is open up our static mesh, and after attaching, what we can do is we can get the parent the set simulate physics on the static mesh. So this is going to simulate the physics and it's going to start falling down. Come on, attach! Attach, you fucker! Now if you run this, you will notice that the scope is going to be, the scope that's going to be attached you can see that the scope is kind of interacting with the, okay, yeah, it's done. It's kind of done, to be honest. I just forgot to add a collision for the scope. So our scope doesn't have any collision. So that's why it's kind of not interacting. Tama! Yes, you can see that the scope is interacting. Hey, we are done with the project. We are done. We're happy. It's working. We're good to go. Just that's it. So we just have to expand this. We have to add more weapon parts together, and yeah, that's gonna be it. Damn, what the fuck, Paradox? You were watching this whole fucking time. It's crazy. You were watching